We have made adding and updating bank account details for your client more efficient using North Online. You will now be able to add and update bank account details on behalf of your client on North Online without the need to use paper forms by introducing digital consent for bank account details. To update or edit bank account details, select Update Bank Details from the Client Details menu across the top. Select the Edit button to make changes. To add another bank account, select the Add a New Bank Account button. You will then be able to edit any of the existing details, including moving an existing reoccurring transaction from one bank account to another by ticking the box. Then select Next to proceed to the Pre-Submit documentation page. On the Pre-Submit documentation page, prior to submitting the digital consent request for your client, you must download the Bank Details Consent form. The Bank Details Consent form will outline the updates to the bank details. Back on North Online, the mobile number and or email address North will use to send the digital consent request will be displayed. You have the option to send a reminder to your client. By selecting Yes, North will automatically send a reminder to your client if they have not approved or declined the request within 5 days, and a consent request will expire if no response is received within 14 days. You also have the option to send an advisor notification. North will send you an email when the client approves or declines the consent request, or when the consent request expires due to no response from the client. You can remove the email addresses listed and or add another. To opt out, select No. Tick the box to confirm that by submitting the request, you've received instructions from your client to update their bank details. Then select the Send Consent Request button. Note that the bank detail changes will not occur until your client has provided consent to this request, and if the request is declined by your client or the consent request expires, North will return the bank details to what had existed prior to the request. Where your client has only an email address or mobile number, they will be sent a message informing them a consent request is awaiting their action, and this can be accessed via North Online mobile app or North Online. Where your client has both an email and mobile, they'll be notified via email and SMS. Again, your client can action the consent request via the North mobile app, North Online, or by clicking on the link in the email with the option to approve or decline the digital consent request. Your client can access the digital consent request on the notification banner and important alerts on the home page and the North mobile app. While there is a consent request, your client will not be able to update their bank details in North Online or the North mobile app, as a recent update to their bank account details is awaiting their approval. Your client will need to download the consent form before they will be able to approve or decline the request. You can track the progress or cancel the digital consent request via the Activities page or within the Update Bank Account Details page by selecting the link. This will take you straight to the activity. Note that when there is a pending digital consent request, you cannot perform any more actions on the page until your client approves or declines the request. The request expires after 14 days or when you cancel the request. You can cancel the consent request by selecting the Cancel Consent Request button. Within the activity, the consent due date will also be displayed. To help your practice keep on top of digital consent requests, you can use the existing digital consent report and advisor reporting. When filtering the report, select Bank Details. You can then also select the consent status. You can also subscribe to event alerts with consent requests that are about to expire and have recently expired or been declined, and then select the desired frequency.